So let us resume back with the poem explanation. Okay. The bees. So work the honey bees, creatures that by a rule in nature teach. The art of order to a peopled kingdom, they have a king and officers of sorts. Now, children, what do these lines say? That uh, the bees, what you call the honeybees, are creatures uh, from nature that teach the art of order to human beings. He says further that they have a king and officers for different activities. The art of order to a peopled kingdom means they have an ordered life in a kingdom where they have a king. In the kingdom, they have a king and officers appointed for different activities. Let us see the next few lines. Where some like magistrates correct at home. Now, I told you in the introduction or before that these honeybees, they have what you call, the work is divided, distributed among the bees, and they are appointed for a certain work. So let us see how the bees are appointed and what kind of work they do. So where some like magistrates correct at home, so magistrate bees do the corrective work. So they are appointed to do anything that goes wrong, so they are appointed to do some corrective work at home. Now, others like merchants venture means take up a new project involving a risk. So, others like merchants trade abroad. Now, merchants means merchant bees. So, merchant bees who are appointed, they are appointed to trade abroad, means they have to go abroad, means to the gardens and wherever flowers are found, and they will go there uh, to trade, means to bring the nectar. Then others like soldiers armed in their stings. Now, usually soldiers, what do they have? They have weapons for what? They have weapons for either defense or attack. See, in the same way, there are soldier bees. These soldier bees have weapons in their sting. Once they sting a person cannot bear the pain. So, these soldier bees, what do they have? They have weapon or armed in their stings. And what do? They make boot upon the summer's velvet buds. Make boot upon means begin to collect around, means they go and collect what? The nectar from the summer's velvet buds. Velvet buds means buds which are about to blossom into a fully grown flower, and being buds, they have a velvet like texture, very, very soft. So these soldier bees, they go and make boot upon, means they begin to collect around nectar from the velvet buds, which pillage they with merry march bring home to the tent royal of their emperor. Now, pillage means the loot. So the loot they bring upon for the emperor. They bring this loot of nectar for whom? For the emperor. So they merrily march towards home, bringing nectar from the summer's velvet buds. For whom? For the royal emperor. Let us see. Who busied in his majesty surveys. Uh, the singing masons building roofs of gold, the civil citizens kneading up the honey, and the poor mechanic porters crowding in. Now, here we come across another group of bees who are appointed for a certain work. So, what you call busied means be very engrossed. So, who is very much engrossed? The majesty bees. Huh? So, the majesty bee is very much engrossed. And the singing masons. Now, these mason bees, masons, who is a mason? A mason is a person who builds houses, right? We learnt this right in the first standards. A mason is a person who builds house. So the mason bees, what work they are appointed with? They are appointed with the work of building the beehive. And what do we mean by roofs of gold? Roofs of gold indicate the beehive, which is golden in color due to the golden honey. So that is why it is called roofs of gold. So the masons, why they are called singing? Because they make the humming sound. So the continuous humming sound made by the bees, that is why they are called singing masons, who are busy in what? They are busy in making the building the beehive. Then civil citizens. Civil citizens means the civilian bees. What are they busy with? Kneading up the honey. So the soldier bees and the merchant bees, they bring nectar from the flowers, and then these civilian bees, they knead it up into honey. What is kneading? To mix uniformly. So they mix nectar brought from variety of flowers. The nectar is brought from various flowers of various species, but all the nectar is then kneaded or uniformly mixed into what? Into honey. By whom? By the civil citizen bees. And let us see what this porter bees do. The poor mechanic porters crowding in their heavy burdens at his narrow gate. Now porters are always famous for uh, carrying loads on their head. So that is why these mechanic porters or porter bees, what work they are appointed with? They are appointed with carrying the nectar or the honey brought by the what you call soldier bees and all. That honey they are supposed to deposit in the beehive. And what does this indicate? The narrow gate. The narrow gate means the window, that hexagonal window of the beehive. So it is very small. So the porter bees have to crowd in. You must have seen if you have seen a beehive, you'll find that all the bees are crowding to get into the window inside to deposit the honey. Now their heavy burdens at his narrow gate. So this narrow gate means that hexagonal window through which these bees enter inside to deposit the honey. Then the sad-eyed justice with his surly hum. Hum is a sound producing word. So here it is onomatopoeia. So surly means bad tempered. So the bad tempered justice, what does he do? He delivers death sentence. To whom? To the lazy yawning drone. Now that drone is a male bee who is lazy and sitting and doing nothing but yawning, and he has done no work assigned to him. So the bad tempered justice, what does he do? He uh, announces death sentence to this lazy yawning drone. So children, I hope you understood this poem. Read it once again, listen to the videos again and again for better comprehension, and write this poem in your English notebook. We'll do with the what you call English workshop, appreciation and figures of speech in the coming periods.